So, any parting remarks as we wrap up?
I think, apart from fraud, the biggest area of concern would be insolvency. And, when an exchange collapses, what happens? So, for example, the Cryptopia set of claims in New Zealand, where New Zealand High Court, if memory serves, held that cryptocurrencies were property held on trust for the depositors and were not available for distribution to unsecured creditors generally. So there would be disputes there. But that has already been addressed in the Eastern Caribbean. And there's a case called, I think I would have written for HTJ Tax in respect of this, the Philip Smith and Jason Cardaci, joint liquidators of Talk Group Holdings. And in that case, Justice Wallbank more or less held that crypto assets are to be considered as assets for the purposes of liquidation. Because when an exchange collapses, there isn't going to be much fiat. What's going to be, they're going to have a lot of wallets with public addresses that hold the proceeds. And those wallets could be accessed by private keys. So what Justice Wallbank held in that case, and that's at paragraph 30 to 32, and I'd read, now applying the analysis, and this is Justice Wallbank speaking, employed by the United Kingdom Judicial Task Force, this would indicate that the crypto assets in the user trading wallet are assets of the company within the estate. In giving this indication, it will be open to any stakeholder with an interest in the user trading wallets to seek to have this court come to an alternative conclusion. By contrast, the use of personal wallets did not involve users transferring crypto assets to wallets that were controlled by or that belonged to the company. The provision of the use of personal wallets was a separate service offered by the company to its users. The users utilized the company's platform as a hosting service, and the company would not have access to or knowledge of the private key, despite the private key being generated by the company's platform. I find it likely that the owners of the crypto assets within the personal user wallets is or are the individual users. So basically, what Justice Wallbank is saying, that look, this exchange, you have user trading and a user personal. What's in the user trading, that could be split up, used by the estate, insolvent estate. What's in the personal, because the company didn't have any direct knowledge of what was in there, that's to be out. So this demonstrates the ability of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court BVI division, and by analogy, because it's one court but with each circuit, but the judges rotate, and of course each of the member states and territories have access to the commercial division. What this demonstrates is that our courts, as a leading common law court, can give remedies in insolvency to those exchanges that may go bust, to individuals who may have issues with or that require remedies under the common law, to an exchange or against an exchange, or to a trader or against a trader. So I think apart from fraud, insolvency would be the big kahuna, so to speak, going forward over the next year or so. And finally, consumer protection. Now, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we've seen a lot of complaints against LLCs and IBCs, or BCs as they're now known, who engage in trading. And there isn't much recourse apart from getting a judgment against them in the High Court. But once the Virtual Assets Act comes on stream, or is commenced, because it's already passed, and those exchanges or traders are regulated because of the prospectus that they would have to give, and because of the statutory bond, etc., there is a greater chance of a remedy to a consumer of that entity. And I think those two latter, the insolvency and the consumer protection, I think those two things are going to be the great benefits as a result of the regulatory responses to crypto across the Eastern Caribbean, and further in the Commonwealth Caribbean. But hey, take advice, take legal advice, and of course, take proper accounting and structuring advice from you know who.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.